A group led by Elon Musk has offered nearly $100 billion to buy OpenAI's nonprofit. But is he serious? What's the strategy here? Let's dig into all of it. Well, friends, the slap fight between Elon Musk and Sam Altman continues. The latest swing from left field comes from Elon Musk, who is leading a consortium that has submitted a bid of $97.4 billion to the OpenAI board to buy the nonprofit that controls the company. The Wall Street Journal reported that the deal would be structured with xAI as the lead investor, implying a merger if it went through. Supporting the bid were Valor Equity Partners, Barron Capital, Atreides Management, Vi Capital, 8VC, a venture firm led by Palantir co-founder Joe Lonsdale, and Ari Emanuel, the CEO of entertainment company Endeavor. In a statement through his lawyers, Musk said, "It's time for OpenAI to return to the open-source, safety-focused force for good it once was. We will make sure that happens." You might notice that the offer is substantially short of OpenAI's most recent reported valuation of $340 billion, which is because Musk is technically bidding for all the assets of the OpenAI nonprofit organization, not the for-profit company. As you would expect, Sam Altman rejected the bid, posting, "No thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Remember, Musk took Twitter private at $44 billion. However, Fidelity marked down their shares to just $9.4 billion last October. Musk himself obviously responded, calling Altman a swindler, as well as posting his congressional appearance from last year. The clip where Altman said he doesn't have equity in the company, and "I'm doing this because I love it." Musk captioned the clip, "Scam Altman." The discussion is largely focused on whether this is a serious attempt to purchase OpenAI or not. Rob Rosenberg, the founder of Telluride Legal Strategies, said, "I think he's trying to make a statement and bring more attention to the fact that OpenAI is still on this course to switch from being a nonprofit to a for-profit company." And indeed, one way to think about this is that it is, yes, a serious move, but not necessarily with the intention of actually consummating the deal. It might more likely be a strategic play in Musk's long-running legal battle over OpenAI's conversion to a nonprofit. The trickiest issue around that conversion is figuring out how much OpenAI is worth. Legally, OpenAI is required to compensate the nonprofit for the assets they are taking into the for-profit, and they have to do so at fair market value. Generally, this is achieved by getting multiple independent valuations, but of course that's a lot easier to pin down when the assets are buildings and equipment rather than world-leading AI models. Musk appears to be trying to give a price to the assets by attaching a market value. Musk's lawyers wrote, "If Sam Altman and the present OpenAI board of directors are intent on becoming a fully for-profit corporation, it is vital that the charity be fairly compensated for what its leadership is taking away from it, control over the most transformative technology of our time." The rest of the quote said, "That value cannot be determined by insiders negotiating on both sides of the table. After all, the public is OpenAI's beneficiary, and a sweetheart deal between insiders does not serve the public interest." The consortium also said that they're willing to match or exceed any higher bids that come in. Mike Isaac, a tech reporter for the New York Times, gave his assessment of the situation, posting, "Because of how complicated OpenAI's nonprofit structure beginnings are, this bid is a giant pain in the neck for OAI leadership, which is currently trying to convert itself into a for-profit company. The bid is, essentially, an attempt at gumming up the works." Austin Allred writes, "So my very basic read is Elon's offer isn't serious, or at least he doesn't think they'll actually accept. It just forces OpenAI to adjust the fair market value much higher as they try to purchase it out of the nonprofit. Kind of savage." Banagaya tried to explain it a little bit further. One, they write, OpenAI is buying assets from the nonprofit for $40 billion, valued at 25% of the equity for the new OpenAI for-profit. 2, xAI offers $100 billion for the nonprofit. 3, now the assets are worth more. 4, OpenAI has to give more equity to justify. 5, OpenAI has less equity to sell to investors, ultimately less funding and delayed process. The open source and safety Elon mentioned is a ploy to align with OpenAI's mission, because the board can reject the offer on the basis of not aligning with the mission regardless of the price. It's not a serious offer, it's a tactic to slow down OpenAI is what I'm getting out of it. Now for background, OpenAI's board currently has 10 members, including Sam Altman himself. After Altman was fired and returned as CEO in late 2023, there's been a lot of turnover, including adding economist Larry Summers and retired General Paul Nakasone. Recent reporting suggested a $40 billion payout was being considered by the board, but with Altman on both sides of the deal and an outside offer now on the table, it's difficult to see how that valuation stands up. Analyst Nathan Young posted the other side of this argument, writing, "Altman is currently trying to sell OpenAI to himself at a lowball price. It's a bit technical, so he may get away with it. I'm no journalist, but it makes me angry." He continues in a long thread, "What is clear is that Altman, the board member, is rejecting Musk's offer despite the only other offer we've heard being Altman, the OpenAI CEO. Why is it in the nonprofit's best interest to do this? Why is it in the interest of humanity? I don't know all the facts. Perhaps Altman and the board have good reason to prefer Altman's lower offer. Perhaps I'm wrong about something. But Altman has a history of moving fast and getting what he wants. Researcher Adam Carvonen picked up another wrinkle in the story. He pointed out a clause in the OpenAI charter which reads, "If a value-aligned, safety-conscious project comes close to building AGI before we do, we commit to stop competing with and start assisting this project." OpenAI's charter said the details would be worked out on a case-by-case basis, but it noted that a, quote, "typical triggering condition might be a better than even chance of success in the next 2 years." Carvonen wrote, "OpenAI's merge and assist clause in their charter is a major wildcard that seems like it could be triggered any moment. Is Elon trying to trigger it?" The one other take here that it was prevalent enough that it's at least worth mentioning is a question of what this says about xAI's success. Developer Nick Dobos writes, "Speculating, if Elon is trying seriously to buy OpenAI, there's a good chance Grok 3 training run failed big time, and they can't raise for a new run and or see no way to match OpenAI's progress. Serious question, why else buy OpenAI for $97 billion when your own AI lab is valued at $40 billion? Do we really think the brand is worth an extra $50 billion to Elon? It's not like he can't get the word out. He supposedly has the top researchers, builders, notoriety, Twitter network effect, and infrastructure to build a comparable AI end product. Unless xAI can't." Still, others think it's a lot simpler. Eric Dolan writes, "Game theory here, Elon doesn't need to win. He just needs Sam to lose, or more accurately, be distracted while Grok, others, and open source catch up." Pedro Domingos captured the sentiment of many people when he wrote, "The OpenAI soap opera is the gift that keeps giving." And indeed, that was extended in an interview with Bloomberg this morning.
OpenAI is not for sale. The OpenAI mission is not for sale. Elon tries all sorts of things for a long time. This is this week's episode.
You take it seriously at all? What do you think he's trying to drive at with this?
I think he's probably just trying to slow us down. He obviously is a competitor. He's working hard and he's raised a lot of money for xAI, and they're trying to compete with us from a technological perspective, from getting the product into the market. And I wish he would just compete by building a better product, but I think there's been a lot of tactics, many lawsuits, all sorts of other crazy stuff. Now this. And we'll try to just put our head down and keep working.
Do you think Musk's approach then is from a position of insecurity about xAI?
Probably his whole life is from a position of insecurity. I feel for the guy.
You feel for him?
I do, actually. I don't think he's like a happy person. I do feel for him.
Okay. Do you worry that he has this proximity to the president and he can influence the decision-making of the US presidency and policies around this agenda on AI?
Not particularly. Maybe I should, but not particularly. I mean, I try to just wake up and think about how we're going to make our technology better.
Ultimately, I absolutely hate, deplore, pick your very strong word, the personal politics in this. I think there is more than a little ego in this particular fight. But at the same time, I think that it does dramatize just how significant the battle to race to AGI is, and how intensely different people are going to be willing to play that game. We will, of course, keep you posted if anything comes of this, but for now, just add some more volatility to the already very wild AI space. Appreciate you listening or watching, and until next time, peace.